Recently, I guess the piece recently that people were talking about, let's say, was about Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really sad.
Yeah, although, he's like a millionaire. He's handsome and successful. I think he's fine.
Yeah. But he's got that back tattoo.
He does have a back tattoo, which he denied when it was first spotted a couple of years ago. And he said it was fake. And then it turned out last month that it was in fact real. And, which is fine. It's a tattoo of a phoenix rising from the ashes to signify, you can identify
Connor's really
with
impressed by that imagery.
It's just very profound for a visual image.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Because the phoenix dies, but...
You know what? He comes right back
Exactly,
up, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah, he rises. Yeah.
Well, let's hope we're a phoenix, given what's going on.
I really hope so, James. Yeah.
Naomi, and it's pronounced Naomi, right?
It is pronounced Naomi.
Like the sort of like early 80s avant-garde, new wave opera singer Klaus Nomi?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yes.
Just wanted to let you know I know about things.
I'm impressed.
You talk a lot about style. You worked for the New York Times, the T, is that what it's called?
Yes, I worked for T, the New York Times style magazine. I worked there for a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about how you like to wear sort of like Supreme, kind of like hype beast sort of clothes sometimes.
Yes, I have been referred to as the fuck mom because I'm a mom. Hi.
Yeah, people talk about my dad bod because I'm overweight.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Kind of the same.
Yeah.
And then you've also talked about Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Where does he fall on the style spectrum?
He is considered a streetwear icon, a menswear icon. Yes.
But he'll go out there and he'll wear like Uggs and like sweatpants and...
Yes. He tucks his sweatpants inside his socks often. He wears Crocs with socks. The socks are an important element. And but he just looks great no matter what he wears.
Yeah.
Even though he's sort of scraggly, but he owns it. And so, people are going crazy over him, over his style.
Now, something that I've noticed in your writing, you're very sympathetic to celebrities that people may be derivative towards mostly. Like, you talk a lot about Spencer Pratt.
I do. I like Spencer.
Is he a pal? Almost?
He's become a pal, I would say. Yeah, I interviewed him a year ago. I went to visit with him and his lovely wife, Heidi, in Santa Barbara. Now they live back in LA, but they used to live in Santa Barbara. And he is, he was a kind of very important in reality television.
Yeah, it was kind of from like the era when music was really great.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So about that same time is when reality television really started to flourish, much like a phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so he was really, him and Heidi and The Hills in general were really important early on in reality television as kind of defining what that genre was about to become. But he got a lot of
There's
flack
nothing I
for
love
that.
more than defining genres.
You know a lot about that,
Yes.
Yeah.
But you kind of talk about him like he's sort of an artist at work a little bit.
He's a bit of an artist at work. I mean, I would call him kind of a performance artist. He knows what he's doing. He's like self-conscious about how he presents himself. I think he's just really smart, actually, and kind of funny.
You're very smart.
Thank
it's just
you.
a segue.
Yeah.
In a way that you kind of straddle the lines between sort of, dare I say, trash pop culture. And trust me, I like it. I always put a little bit of cheese on my music sometimes to make it good, so I'm not looking down on it at all. But you worked for Us Weekly.
I did work for Us Weekly about a decade ago. Yeah.
And at the same time, you taught at RISD.
I did teach at RISD.
I thought that would get an applause break in this crowd.
Yeah, I mean, guys.
Art school.
Art school is it's very important. Yeah, I did teach at RISD. I was a fact checker at Us Weekly.
What's an example of like a fact you had to check? If you want to run any by me, I'm sort of a walking encyclopedia of underground music.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't really about underground music so much. So it was mostly about what were facts that I needed to check. I mean, it was a lot of the time it was things like how many months is this baby by the time the issue comes out. So it's like Surrey Cruise, is she going to be like 18 months or 19 months by like, May 21st when the issue hits the stands, stuff like that. But then there was also just like a lot of stuff about like Britney Spears melting down and like Lindsay Lohan melting down. It was really the golden age of all of that, of women breaking down.
I do remember Natalie Portman broke down and dated Devendra Banhart.
Yeah, that was also, your colleague. Yeah.
Joanna Newsom, Andy Samberg.
I mean, that's still ongoing, right? They're still together.
Yeah. I'm actually friends with some celebrities.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Like who?
I vacation with Eric Wareheim and Aziz Ansari.
That's impressive.
You should write articles about them.
Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, there's been quite a lot of articles about Aziz lately.
Yeah, he's a really sweet guy.